In this tutorial of MetaSwing for Bloomberg, we're going to cover volume plus volatility support and resistance. These are the VVSR lines. Okay, we're going to take a look at the VVSR lines, and that stands for volume and volatility based support and resistance, and this is a daily chart of Amazon. First, let's go ahead and add those indicators to the price pane. By doing so, we simply right-click, we select the equity or security, we select MetaSwing, and then Settings. We'll get a pop-up box, and what you'll notice is the first couple indicators are support and resistance based. So we have the in-bands and the in-band regions ATR zones within those in-bands. We have the SR levels 1 through 8, and immediately below we have the VVSR lines and the transactional signals. So they come in pairs, just like the SR levels, for example, 1 through 2, 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 7 and 8 are paired together. Same thing here. What we do is VVSR 1 and 2 are denoted by blue and yellow. That's one pair, and the second pair is VVSR 3 and 4 denoted by green and red. And we also have transactional support signals, which we'll check mark and add, and then select Update. And what you'll notice is that in addition to having the projected support and resistance levels in the in bands, often you'll see overlap of these areas. And this is indicative of what we're trying to accomplish here. We're using non-traditional forms of technical analysis to find support and resistance levels. In particular, we're looking for projected levels that would be future insightful and helpful. And so what we're doing is we're looking at not only levels that are supported by extreme measurements of volatility and plugging those into technical analysis, but we're also looking for volume events or conditions to confirm these. And so as you'll see, for example here, there's overlap in the VVSR 1 and 2, which is the blue and yellow, and also the SR 3 and 4. Same thing if you look over, say, May through July, you'll see quite a bit of overlap with the VVSR lines and the SR 3 4 as well. And most recently, the breakdown of Amazon below the VVSR, the red line in green, those are also close proximity to the SR 3 4. So let's go ahead and remove the other indicators so we can just focus on these and some ways that they can assist your analysis and trading. Here we have the same chart of Amazon.com, but we've taken off the projected support and resistance levels. This will make it easier for the eyes. However, we've left on the in bands to help us define the playing field for Amazon, and that can be for whatever security we're looking at. So I notated before that these come in pairs. Let's take a look at the first pair, VVSR 1 and 2, and this is denoted by the blue and yellow lines as per here, February to April. And then the other pair is the VVSR 3 4, and that is the green and red line as notated from July until most recently. In addition, you'll see that there are transactional signals notated by TS, and again here in November, TS, and these denote or connote future buying pressure. So here we're zooming in on a particular region to take a look at two things. We can look at how the VVSR lines can complement traditional technical analysis, help you to vet an idea, and also help you to strategize and be more precise in your research, analysis, and trading. So let's take a look at how you might annotate this chart through normal conventional technical analysis. We've got two peaks here, and so you might get this traditional horizontal trend line. So using multiple concepts like trend, and our trend wave here is predictive, we have an idea that this VVSR level is support right now, but with a negative trend outlook, we're going to be watching that intently to see if it breaks down. So at this point here in early February, it does so, breaks down, retests, and falls to new lows. Now, perhaps I have additional intelligence that's telling me that watch for this trend line break here, another traditional trend line when the trend is still negative. But then we get our break and we play a counter trend trade to the upside. Now, normally you might be gunning for this previous level. This is what you have to base your analysis on. You might have maybe another peak here that might give you a descending trend line, but let's work with this example here. So your trend line break works fairly well. However, how many times have you put on a trade and you have to put stop orders or begin legging out before it hits your target? And how many times have you seen this where the trade is quelched before it actually gets to your target? Well, this is an example of using a non-traditional level. We've detected here on February 9th that there would be buying and selling pressure in the future. We projected these levels forward, and this area was support and now becomes resistance. So this also is a demonstration of how normal technical analysis can be applied to these levels. So what was support, once that's broken, and now becomes resistance, and vice versa. And actually using the same levels, we see that after we bounce off of our target, well, now the trend wave is developing into green expectation. So we're expecting a future uptrend, and so I would be looking intently for this level to be a breakout versus waiting for this level. So you actually get in earlier. You can set stop order or break buy stops a lot lower than previous level and gain additional alpha out of a breakout. So just two examples. An interesting thing as well is if you scoot over here to this region just after it, and we look at more non-traditional levels. So again, where this VVSR line is put in here on this from this bar here is price action. This is a level that's not normally supported through traditional technical analysis. And so if you drew just a horizontal level going forward, you can get into a breakout trade earlier. So you see a weakening downtrend, you can anticipate a breakout much sooner. Here we have something in this level of a breakdown. So here we have very strong support resistance level put in. However, it begins to break down, and simultaneously the trend becomes to weaken as well. So you'd want to watch these levels on a breakdown. It pretty much means that the jig is up. And so again, what was support is now resistance. This level is tested in resistance, and then once again broken above now becomes support with an additional transactional signal, which turned out to be a good short-term trade. Here we're looking at a daily chart of wheat, and we'll zoom out into the weekly to show it as well, but I just want to show some live examples of strong performance. So we have a strong breakout and then settles down. Again, a non-traditional level of support and resistance being put in, and you'll see this contains price for almost 4 months. Then we have another sell-off touching the N-band and a breakout above the VVSR 1-2 level. So another thing to pay attention to is once a breakout above or a breakdown below, in this example here, the VVSR 1-2, it really shows that the gig is up. Then containing price as well, not coming close to that area. Also out of here, sensing in a level of support and resistance that's volume and volatility based, holding off price for after a strong advance for 3 or 4 days until it breaks down. And interesting as well, using these tools in concert, you can see that once this level begins to break, the trend wave turns negative. And so an interesting level to watch there, watch the breakdown. So let's go ahead and build the weekly chart. The same thing happens. What was once resistance is now support. So after a long advance and decline, you have these levels being put in that are showing strong support tendencies and resistance as well. Then a breakout above new levels, and you can see that these levels also contain price for some time. If you zoom in, you can see that this is over a 4 to 5 month period. And here we have an example of a transactional signal where strong buying is detected, and you consequently get a several week advance. Thank you for your interest in MetaSwing and for watching this instructional video on the VVSR lines. Here's our contact information. Please don't hesitate to reach out to us if you have any questions. Good luck and good trading.